Good morning, everyone. It's JB, and I am blessed and I am happy to bring the word and the devotion for you today. And today is Wednesday, April 8th. So I'm going to be going off of Mark chapter 3, verse 1 to 6, if you'd like to follow along. But before we even start, I want to start off by saying, don't you think there is a lot of noise going around in this world? And I know you agree with me. There's so much noise that's happening in this world. It's happening in our communities, that's happening in our homes. And noise can distract us from doing the tasks and objectives that we're going out to set out to do. So much noise, so much distraction. In Mark chapter 3, Jesus has been doing all these miracles. He's been doing things and on the Sabbath day that the Pharisees does not like. And so Jesus steps into a synagogue and he sees a man with a withered hand. Withered hand. Withered, the word withered comes from the Greek word exraino. Exraino, there you go. Exraino means to dry up or to waste away. So this man's hand has dried up. It's become useless and it's just wasted away. They use the word exraino. And so when Jesus sees this man, he sees the Pharisees, and the Pharisees are just waiting to catch Jesus to heal on this Sabbath day, just to call him back out. And so Jesus, with knowing this, calls the man out, calls the man with the withered man out, and he looks to the Pharisees and he says, "Is it unlawful to do harm or to do good on the Sabbath day? Is it unlawful to do harm on the Sabbath day but not to do good? Is it unlawful to save a life or to kill?" And what happens, the Pharisees, they just stay silent. The Pharisees are silent. The synagogue is silent. And Jesus is actually angered by this. We read that Jesus is angered by the silence because they know that they're in the wrong. And then after that anger, we read that Jesus is grieving for the hearts of the Pharisees because their hearts have been hardened. And so, sometimes noise doesn't always have to be loud to be distracting, right? Sometimes it can just be really tense silence to be distracting. That can be noise enough for us to not allow us to do our task or allow us to reach our goal or objective. And then in the midst of all this noise, there's the man with the withered hand simply wanting to be healed, his hand to be healed. And then Jesus breaks that silence. Jesus interrupts the silence of the noise, and Jesus calls back out. Jesus calls back out to the man and says to stretch out his hand. And in that moment, the man simply puts his hands out, stretches back out to Jesus, and the scripture says that he is healed and he is restored. Simply healed and restored. Now, church, the main point I just want for you I want to be praying for us today is that in the midst and in the presence of distracting noise in our lives, Jesus will always be on his behalf, calling out to us, just as he did to the man with the withered hand. And all we simply have to do is reach and stretch our hands back out to Jesus. It shouldn't be that there's noise to be distracting us from reaching out to Jesus. We shouldn't have noise. The noise should not be distracting for us to reach back out to Jesus. So my challenge for you today is that I ask that you spend 5 minutes alone and away in either your prayer closet, your actual prayer closet, or going out to the garage in your car, going out to another room. But I ask that you take 5 minutes, set a timer, and just stretch your hands out to Jesus. Go ahead, spend your time in prayer and stretch your hands back out to Jesus. So that's the word I have for you. That's the challenge I have for you. We love to hear your story and the experience that you had with this challenge. So share with us on Facebook, and thank you so much for listening to this word. Take care, church. We'll see you and we'll keep connected.